After the Colorado attacks on Planned Parenthood, it turns out that public support for reproductive rights has actually grown. In fact, the Associated Press recently conducted a poll, and they found that there has been an uptick in support for reproductive rights. Let me give you those numbers, and keep in mind that it's not just among Democrats, it's among Republicans as well. Nearly 6 in 10 Americans, 58% to be exact, now think abortion should be legal in most or all cases, and that's up from 51% who said so at the beginning of this year. Now, support for legal abortion edged up to 40% among Republicans, which is huge, okay? Now, if you divide Republicans by conservative Republicans and liberal Republicans, of course you're going to see a big difference. 7 in 10 conservative Republicans said they want abortion to be illegal in most or all cases. 6 in 10 moderate and liberal Republicans said the opposite. Among Democrats, the numbers are obviously very different. 76% of poll respondents now think abortion should be legal all or most of the time, up slightly from 69% in January. I don't think that's slight. I think that's pretty significant. Independents are more evenly split, with 54% saying abortion should be legal all or most of the time, edging up from 43% in January. Now, again, this poll was conducted after the Planned Parenthood in Colorado was attacked and 3 people were shot and killed as a result of that. So it's interesting because the country responded to that act of terror in a good way, right? Realizing that reproductive rights are important and we do need to, protect them.
So this is overall very good news, but I do have some mixed feelings about it. So first off, only 54% of independents think abortion should be legal. That's kind of depressing. And in fact, at the beginning of the year, as you pointed out, it was only 43%. Second of all, I think that women should have the right to choose, and I would hope that people make their decision based on the principle of it. But it appears that they're being swayed by stories in the news that are emotional, where people are getting killed. I understand why you're emotional about that. I was emotional about that, right? An act of terror, and then people say, well, oh yeah, that I'm going to stand up for those women, and I want abortion to be legal. I guess in some ways that's positive. But in other ways, I would hope that your position would not be swayed by events like that, but by the substance of the issue, that you really believe that a woman should have a right to choose, not as a reaction to what this guy did. Now, having said that, the great news that I get out of it is that terrorism doesn't work. It's, we've done this over and over, talked about it. First of all, deeply immoral. He killed 3 people. He killed a cop. He killed, of course, all the wrong people. None of the people he killed were getting an abortion. As always, the idiots who do terrorism are not just immoral, but wrong-headed, wrong results. And then at the end of the day, hey, congratulations, Robert Deere. You just moved up the pro-choice numbers substantially in the country. So it's great to see Americans saying we're going to reject terrorism. We're going to go in the opposite direction.
Well, what I also wonder is, and this is just my speculation, I have no data to back this up, of course, but I'm really curious to see whether or not incidents like that, where Planned Parenthood gets attacked by a so-called pro-life person, makes people realize the hypocrisy of the pro-life movement, right? So when stories like that break, it gives, opinion columnists, people in the media, the opportunity to point to that hypocrisy and talk about, let's say governmental programs that continuously get denied by Republicans who consider themselves pro-life. Who does that impact the most? Children who are hungry, who are born into poor families. These pro-life people who go ahead and they actually kill people and attack Planned Parenthood and actually harm people. I think that these hypocritical moments do speak volumes to people who might be on the fence when it comes to reproductive rights and abortion.